talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is J.H. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie? No horn today, no horn. Look, let's talk. I'm gonna be animated because this is how I keep your attention. So, an individual sent me an email, and we're gonna elaborate off of this email and speak about everything in all of your personal postal lives. All right. The individual said they wanted to stay anonymous, so we are not gonna mention Donna Trapezzi's name. I'm just kidding. That made that name up. Listen, you send me emails, your name is anonymous. Never worry about that. But this is what happened up at the at the RPDC up there in Atlanta. So apparently DeJoy went up there for a visit last week. And right before his visit, what they did was they hid all of the mail, whether they sent it to other stations or plants. They did that all temporarily because it was packed, jam-packed, mail falling everywhere. And I'm showing you some pictures. It was everywhere. And when DeJoy got there with his people, there was no mail there. No sooner than DeJoy left, all the mail reappeared. So these are some pictures, trying to post them all so you can see. Now, this is something that I don't know if it was a direct order from DeJoy or from upper management, but this is what happens. You see that when we had this other article about that individual, the postmaster, I believe he was, that said, look, let's falsify documents or falsify scans or falsify stating that mail has been delivered when it wasn't delivered. This goes on nationwide because in that video comment section, you guys have done your due diligence and said that happens here, this happens here, this happens here. Well, this is Jay being animated, so this is just part of my spiel. All right. Look, stop talking shit. Go do something about it. Do something about it. It is time for everyone to step up and start doing their thing. Your voices are being heard, whether it's heard immediately or it's heard later on down the line. Everybody wants to hear it now, but it just doesn't happen like that. Things are changing because people are speaking up. They are. Tyler Vasor, he's speaking up. Things are changing. Y'all have been writing, people, things are changing. All right. When you have a situation, these are a few of the words that I want to throw out there. And if this applies to you, speak up. Concealment, the act of hiding or keeping something secret. Concealment. OK, that happens. Y'all already know. I ain't got to elaborate it. You will right there in the comments. Suppression. To deliberate prevention of information from being revealed or made public. Suppression. Whitewash. A deliberate attempt to make something appear better or less problematic than it actually is. Camouflage. The use of disguises or concealment to hide the true nature of something. Veil of secrecy, a metaphorical veil that shrouds hidden information or actions. Smokescreen, a distraction or diversion used to obscure the truth. Facade, an outward appearance that conceals the true nature of something. Red herring, a misleading clue or distraction designed to divert attention from the real issue. Whether it be bullying, whether it be anything in the plants, anything at the stations, whether it be directly with your supervisors, with your managers, your postmasters, your shop stewards, each other, everybody. Okay? This problem has been brewing and festering within this community that we have for so long, and it's time to change the culture. And only you can change the culture. You know, the one thing that I noticed when I got here, when there's a problem, and tell me if I'm lying, I'm gonna wait after I make this statement. Tell me if I'm lying. If people see something in action, see something that's totally wrong, and it goes against one person. Hey, man, you saw that person just come and they pushed me, or they snatched this thing out of my hand, or they threw something at me, or the manager cursed at me, XYZ. I'm gonna need a statement from you. Ready for it? Nobody wants to help. Nobody wants to participate and help each other when it comes down to statements. When it comes down to filing an EEO, it's one thing for me to say, my supervisor's been hitting on me. It's one thing for me to say, my postmaster at my station has told me if I don't give him no coochie that I'm gonna end up being on the worst routes, etc., etc. This happens. Don't act like it don't happen. I don't sit there and agree with what my shop steward is saying. My shop steward is saying, just let it ride. Don't worry about it. Just do as you're told. Wait, hold on. I did as I'm told, but you said you were supposed to, we're going to let this ride. If all of this has occurred and you don't change the culture, then it's on you. Open your voices up. Let it be heard. If it didn't just happen to you, get yourselves and your groups together, okay? We like to tell on everything else, but when it comes down to this place, everybody worries about retaliation. Who do you write to, you say? There's always a boss over a boss, okay? All the way up to the top. There's always a boss over the boss. And if the bosses don't listen, your local congressperson does. You bring things to their attention because you're a public service and say, hey, the reason that everything is late here is because this specific postmaster will not hire more people to keep his numbers looking good. The facade, the camouflage, the smokescreen. So even though it looks like the numbers are great here, notice that we're delivering late every day. Talk to me, y'all. Tell me I'm lying. It's time that you all open your own mouths, come together, and change this culture. We can only do this together. Because if you don't do it together and you just leave comments, those comments ain't helping nobody. Because that's all they are. They're just comments. I mean, please leave comments, obviously. But they're not helping anybody. When you see somebody at a station that's a troublemaker and then goes and they run their mouth to somebody else and is consistently a troublemaker, let it be known. Let it be known. Oh, you just don't want the trouble picked on you? Write an anonymous letter. Whatever you got to do, come together. Hey, did that person just do the same? They did that to me last month. You know what? I've been trying to find somebody to write a letter. You know what happens when you got people that are up top or other workers or everybody else that's bad and then nobody opens their mouth? You will never have change. You gotta open your mouth. You gotta put pens to paper. You have to start doing diligence for yourself in order to help this place be a little more people friendly. You want to sit there and say, my postmaster treats me like garbage and every new person in this place always gets this, that, this, and the third. Yeah, it may be true. It may be true. Not saying it is, but if you have 30 people that say it, it has to be investigated. If you got one person that says it, unfortunately, the way things are in this place, it'll never change. But once you all come together collectively, as a unit under a union, things change. Like real unions. Think about the carpenters unions. Think about the pipe layer unions. They make things happen. Oh, hell no, you're not gonna bring a bunch of people undocumented to come in here and try to help and cut our work back. Not happening, cousin. No, it's not. You know what? Bring them in. But we're gonna stand outside collectively together and we're gonna block them from doing the work. That's what they do. They come together, they unite. They're not afraid to be together. The problem that we have here is there's too many people that are snakes and backstab each other. You smile in your face and then turn around and talk tish about you. That's what happens here. But it's unfortunate because once that continues to happen, there's nobody that's on each other's side. It's divided amongst itself. And when you have a unit that's divided amongst itself, it's just a bunch of pieces. That's all it is. It's like a puzzle, 1,000-piece puzzle in a box. Means nothing. You just drop it on the table, means nothing. But once you start putting that puzzle together, now it's starting to build something. Once you start coming together and it finally all looks like one final unit, damn, that's strong. That looks good. But nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to open their mouth together. Together. I see people in here arguing with each other. It's okay to agree to disagree. But each and every one of you, tell me if I'm wrong, would like better wages. Yes? Every one of you want better working conditions. Yes? Every one of you would like to feel like you're able to come to a place that's comfortable for you to work. Doesn't have to be perfect, but comfortable enough for you to come to work, do your job unbothered, not by the work per se, but by other coworkers, supervisors, managers, whatever it is, without having the mental stress. Tell me if I'm wrong. But nobody wants to put the work forward to do that. Mr. Tyler Vasseur, that's my dogs. I ain't never met him. We met on Zoom, but he's taking initiative to make change. One person, and there's more to him that's a little bit behind the scenes. But once they got unified, look how it went from one place to another place to another place to another place. Look at that. He's on other people's talk shows, a perfect union. He's got freaking 50, 60, 70,000 people watching him just because they decided to come together as a unit. You need to start making the change for you. It's one thing to send this to me. All I got is a little platform, but that's it. This is just talk and opinion. This doesn't represent the post office. But this is for you to come together and figure out what's going to work for you. Whether I agree with it or not is totally different. But if you have a platform, if you have a way to talk, you know, that whole thing that we're supposed to do before cell phones, talk to your coworkers, come together with your coworkers, go drink a beer after work with your coworkers. They don't do that no more. Don't go and invite each other to barbecues. They don't do that no more. Bond. You don't have to like everybody. That's human nature. But come together. Do something that makes sense. Because once you say, hey, did you notice today that they had an order to come in here and we've been waiting for somebody to show up in this place to tell them all the bad things that is going on in this place, and then they show up and everything is perfect in your place? Everything? Man, what kind of book? We ain't never had our floor mopped in this place. All of a sudden the bathroom's clean and the floor is mopped. Oh, hell no. Do your due diligence. This is not an attack on managers, supervisors, anybody. This is not an attack on anybody, period. This is about telling you to use your voice, put the pens to paper, whether it be an EEO, writing a letter to Congress, writing a letter to the supervisors, the managers, everybody. Look, utilize what you have to try to come together. Stop with the excuses, because I am responsible for me. Once everybody starts realizing that I am responsible for me should be a way of life, and then you realize that other people are responsible for themselves, and then you want other things that can happen that can make their lives better, and you all come together and say, damn, I was responsible for me. That person said they were responsible for their own self, and we realize that shit, I want better this, I want better that, I need this, I need that, and now we're all willing to do work together to make this happen. That's what you call changing the culture. This is JH. Straight out the Bronx, baby. And I'm out.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.